Nice dance move, buddy. What's that giant egg behind you?
This giant egg, well, this giant egg means that it's party time because we just received our first of a kind depolymerization machine.
What was that?
It is a depolymerization machine. So what this is a first of a kind, which means that it has never really been done before, ever. And so we are building the future of recycling and upcycling plastic waste into new, higher quality materials. We take plastic waste, which no one seemingly wants, and we can upcycle it into new virgin state plastics, such as PET pellets, which we can sell for about $2,000 USD per ton, or upcycle it further into materials like Kevlar, which you can sell for about $15,000 USD per ton.
Okay. So what do you think this means for like the waste management industry?
Well, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal because currently there are methods that aren't that efficient. The current status quo method of recycling, which is heat and mold, you can actually only upcycle or recycle, about 9% of recycling bins in North America. With our technology, we're able to take the majority of that recycling bin and upcycle it. And the reason for that is because the heat and mold recycling, which is quite outdated, it uses a lot of energy, but you can only heat and mold plastic a number of times before it loses its integrity and becomes brittle and ends up in a landfill. Anyways, so that's the current massive problem with the entire industry globally. And with our technology, we can take that end-of-life plastic and rebirth it into that day one life cycle plastic again. And it would be extremely similar quality to how you would make plastic from oil, but we're using it with recycled plastic. It's one gigantic step forward for sustainability.
Yeah, it sounds revolutionary. You got a lot of partners that you're currently working with, or how's that going?
We do. We have many partnerships, very, very large partnerships globally that we're able to make a large impact with. Number one being Goodwill. And we have the CEO of Goodwill as an advisor to Denovia. And they've got a really big challenge where they can actually only resell a certain percentage of all the textiles that they receive as donations. And we can actually upcycle that portion that they can't sell that is currently being baled up and shipped overseas. So we are able to depolymerize and upcycle all of that polyester portion of those textiles, which is absolutely fantastic. And then another very exciting relationship that we have, an actual operating partner and an investor of ours, is Timac. And Timac on the West Coast, they actually take off 100% of the trash off of every single ship in a British Columbia port. So we're working directly with Timac and Maersk, Norwegian Cruise Lines, the Canadian Royal Navy, to take all that plastic waste and to depolymerize it with our depolymerization machine. So you might look at this and say, hey, well, that is quite large. However, our next steps after this, turning this machine on and proving this out on a commercial scale, we're going to go 50 times the size of this machine right here. So we are tackling the waste problem head on, and we will be depolymerizing plastic waste at massive scales. And that's just our first facility. We will be cookie cuttering our facility and planting them in different geographical areas globally as we continue to grow.
Wow, that's exciting, man. Is this up and running, or when do we get to see this in action?
So we just received this a few days ago. You're going to have to stay tuned, and we will have another update when we get this up and running. But we hope to be depolymerizing plastic waste within about 5 minutes at a commercial scale with this proprietary machine right here.
Wow, it's exciting, man.
Very exciting. It's one big step for Denovia and one giant leap for sustainability.